this isn't even really need, to be honest. I just like, this is a really fast-paced game, so I don't really have time to scroll through this. But I'm gonna keep the notebook anyways. Because you never know what can go wrong. But I should have everything pretty much committed to memory. I was debating on using my compression gloves, just because like there's a lot of mashing and stuff. Wow, these yeah, this controller kind of blends right into my pants because they're pretty dark. I've got a PS1 controller that maybe I should use because of the color. It's a little brighter and easier to see. But okay. Alright, for name... where's the smiley? That'll do. Man, I don't know why I'm so nervous for this. Ooh, that like skipped down my notes. Okay. Should probably work out a better matching technique. Or I should just mash straight X. Man, I swear my nose only gets like sniffly when I'm streaming, but I'm super sniffly right now. Yo, thanks, man. But yeah, good luck with that drive. Oh yeah, you're... Wait, are you like driving to Florida right now? Is that this weekend? Or no? I'm mixing the dates up. I think it's next weekend, you said. Alright, so I'm gonna grab this. I know Vin skips this, but I'm gonna grab it for that extra safety. Ugh, I need to like work on that. I don't think it makes sense to double tap every text box. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it. That sounds like a good plan. Oh, please. Yo, nice. Yeah, it's really comfy. It's colorful. It's pretty cute all around. Okay, I don't think I need fire right away. So here's the first dungeon. This is the mushroom dungeon, I guess. Oh shit. Alright, so this is the blue paint. We need this to advance the story later. But yeah, enemies can drop anything from money to health to, yeah, just random junk. Ugh. And I don't think this is anything too useful, but I'm gonna grab it anyways. I think it's like a summon. I think that's what that is. be careful I don't act. There's like a little cutscene that can activate there. I want to be careful I don't hit that. And since this isn't my first run, and I'm trying to take it like pretty safe, anytime I see it like an enemy drop money, I'll probably go out of my way for it. Like health drops are the obvious ones that I want, but anytime I see some money, I'm totally gonna take it. I also really love this game's soundtrack. I say as I start humming it. Alright, so there's a potion, go on of our way to grab. Oh, I should have charged fire. I'm an idiot. I actually didn't know that we could do it in the boss room. It's kind of epic. Okay, that's the first boss. I should always mash X just on these palms because if you try to name them, the game has a hard, like, time, I don't know, loading or something. Step on the warp to get out. As soon as my screen fades, I'll hit the timer. Okay. I'm gonna scroll this down just a bit. Okay. Yo, thanks. Yes, that's the first dungeon. Went a little out of my way to grab an extra potion and just some random junk. So that can be a lot faster, I think. That could probably be like maybe even a minute faster. That first split there. Alright, so this game is about like collecting, I mean it's not about it, but you're gonna like find these little animal creatures, like little almost like bunny looking things, and they're called poms. And this is the first one I've got here. And they can, like, if you give them like food, you can like make them work for you, and you build like almost like this little like farm. And yeah, you can like construct all this like almost like a little town. And I think I'm pushing the right inputs here. Nope. Shoot. I want you. What am I doing wrong? There we go. Okay. I was like, I'm definitely an idiot. Alright, so, and we're already off to the next dungeon. Yeah, so we grab our little palm, and now it's following us. Each of the palms have their own little, like, aesthetic, and then they have, like, their own unique, like, kind of power, I guess you could say, and things that they can do. Man, it's been a while since I've actually done this early game stuff. I was so focused with just, wrong way, just memorizing junk that, like, the actual dungeons that I'm still a little hazy on some of this overworld movement. But we should be okay. I kind of want to take a second and... Oh yeah, we got a cutscene. I kind of want to take a second and charge some junk up. But yeah, my notes literally say, do the mountain dungeon. So hopefully this all goes well. I think it'll be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna charge up the fire just because we were super low. But that's probably not optimal. I don't remember what's in that chest, but I'm pretty sure it's nothing important. Good room. Straight down. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. It's really nice. But yeah, so I think her name is Ruru, which maybe is something like along the lines of Lulu. But she can like spin her little staff, and she can block enemies or block like projectiles and stuff with it. And also, if you like are spinning it, it's like you're charging it. And when you release it, you'll like smack down with your staff, almost like a hammer. And then if you hit your palms with that charged attack, they'll do something, which we'll see a lot more later. There's specifically like a dungeon where we have to have specific palms in order to advance through the dungeon. Didn't need to kill her, but you never know when you're gonna get a health drop. This boss gave me a lot of trouble at first. The way that Vin fights this is gonna be way different than I do it. So, Vin gets aggressive and like melees it, but my problem with that is he always just slams me. So if you do this, he starts doing his rock attack, and sometimes you can get him to spam it. And the rocks don't. Well, I've never had him give me like this kind of a junky pattern, but I've never had the rocks there's like a chance that the rock won't even hit you. So like right here, I'm just standing here. But soon enough, he'll get sick of the fight. He will admit his defeat. Like that, and he'll throw me through the wall. We'll step on this. So later in the game, we're gonna get a spell that allows us to warp on our own. But like early in the game, when they want you to go somewhere, they'll give you your own little teleporter pad. Alright. Oh wait, I needed that. Let's step on that switch. I think it's the potion? Yeah. Skip the heart one, there's nothing there. Just an empty room. Wow, my nose is insanely itchy. I'm trying to like itch my nose between each loading zone. Okay, here we're going for this. Oof. Alright. You can definitely make that. It's not too tight. Obviously it's a little tight. But normally not too bad. Would like a health drop, but probably won't get one. A bit of money. Oh, down again, not easy. Love the sound effects in this game. It's just super, like, I don't know. It's sort of fun to play as, like, a little kid. Because even though, like, optimizing the route through the dungeons is important, but, like, it's not too difficult where, like, even I, like, don't know any Japanese, and I was able to muscle my way through the dungeons. Like, they're not, even, like, the more complicated, like, really convoluted ones that we'll get to later, like, they're nothing that I couldn't, like, handle without absolutely any Japanese. There's a lot of the mechanics in this game that I just do not understand, and it's because I can't read Japanese. But for the most part, you're able to clear the game without too much difficulty. There was one thing that I just had no idea, and I had to look it up. Also, there's a really good game facts guide, which is rare. A lot of times, especially with more obscure Japanese titles, there won't be a very efficient walkthrough, especially not one in English. So it's nice that existed. Alright, into the next boss. So these guys took me forever. My first playthrough, I was here for like 30 minutes just to find out that you can't use your magic spells. You can only melee them. I had no idea. I was like, I don't think this is working. But I just kept going through all my healing. I was like, well. But yeah, it's kind of sad that any percent is so gung-ho, because there's a lot of like, there's a ton of towns that we're just not gonna see, like straight up cities, and then there's like give me this one a lot. And in each city there's like mini games and stuff, and there's people to talk to, but I don't know. Gotta be careful there. She always will drop down one icy boy on me. I'm gonna use that healing item that I picked up earlier. Alright. Yeah, so she drops an ice ball. Gets some spell. See, I'm pretty sure she's just cycle based. So that's why I've just been kind of doing dash attacks. One thing to randomly note, although you can get a lot of hits in if you spam your, not on this particular fight, but like a lot of bosses you'll see I'll just be like spamming the melee attack. The dash attack, like this, is actually way stronger than just a normal attack. A lot of enemies I was noticing would take like 2 or 3 hits in my casual playthrough, ended up taking like just 1 hit from the dash attack, which is interesting for sure. Okay, so I don't think there's anything waiting for me in this room right here, so I'm just gonna use the teleporter spell and leave. Pretty sure there's nothing here, yeah. Is there a cutscene? Yeah. I keep wanting to look at my notes, but it's pretty much all in my head. Those are really just kind of, if I do get like really confused or something like that, I guess. I'll split on the fade out here. Like that. Alright, now we're headed off to the water castle. The water dungeon. Okay. So, not after every single dungeon, but after a lot of the dungeons, especially in the beginning, we've got to report back to Gramps. That's it. Just a quick check-in with the old man. And warping, when you're out in the overworld like this, will take you back to your farm, which is the basic idea. Because a lot of the overworld maps are all like, they all lead out of and connect here. So now the gate that was, so there's a gate over here to the right. This gate will now be opened, whereas before it's not open. There's another gate south of us, and that one's just not open either. Yeah, what's up, Cub? Just like a 2D dungeon action adventure RPG. So this guy is sad. He wants, I don't know if I gave it to him. Yeah, so he wants blue paint. So the blue paint that we picked up in the first dungeon, we give that to him to lower the drawbridge. Drawbridge. And now we just run up to the town. So this is a city we actually will get to see. It's kind of like a castle city. It's really cool. So, yeah. I don't really know too much about the plot. From what I understand, like, a skull, like some kind of skull thing fell from the sky and gave someone, like, some really crazy, like, dark magic powers. And they're up to no good. And also, there's these little, like, creatures that I don't think are supposed to be here. And they're called Pom. And they're these little bunny things that have, like, unique powers. And, but I don't really know too much about the plot. I need to, like, go out of my way to, like, look into it. And not be lazy. But yeah, so we just have to let these guys sing it out. I'm pretty sure we can't skip these guys, because we've got to go up to the castle. So I think we're just stuck here while these dudes are singing and jamming on their guitar harmonica combo. I think it's a harmonica. Alright, but once we're free, we're going right up to the castle. And I believe the prince has been kidnapped, so that's kind of what this next plot point is, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so, like, in my casual playthrough, this was a pain because I didn't know the story triggers, like, I didn't know who to talk to. But it's actually not it doesn't take too long. I've played through this game 3 times now. Twice, once casually, twice to get a better feel for the dungeons, and then a third run, not like run, but like a third playthrough just to be like, okay, do I know what I'm doing? And now, here's an actual RTA attempt. But yeah, so, it's, okay, okay, I think I know what I'm doing here. I don't even know if I need to talk to that pink-haired girl. I know I gotta go here. Okay, so I heard that audio sound effect, which is usually like associated with like, you did it, you're done. So I think if we talk to the king, we'll be able to go into the dungeon of this castle. Oops. And the dungeon is where the prince might be located. Again, that audio effect plays, so I think that we're good to go. But normally there's a guard that won't let you in like the castle's basement. This guy. So if we talk to him now, he should get up. There we go. Alright. Now we're already at the 3rd dungeon. This is, I think, the quickest. It's just... And I spent a lot of time here, but it's actually like a super short dungeon if you're just getting in and out. And you're not trying to explore. These fish guys are a huge pain. But they give me a real... They're really apt to like run away and just ignore you. But it feels like we got them under control there. Alright, my biggest concern is I don't want to get poisoned. A lot of this game is that I found is like I don't want to get poisoned like ever. It's a really awful status, not in the sense that it drains your HP over time. I gotta be careful, those guys will poison you. Because it doesn't. It won't drain your HP over time. It's not like a typical like RPG poison, but it will refrain from you can't heal your health back, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm gonna like long range this guy because I know he's poisonous. Alright, and this guy can only be hit by there you go. So I just sicked him on them. Alright, here's another Pom, and they're just scattered throughout the dungeons in the world and junk, but we only need a couple for the run, so while there is like 12, I think, I can't remember, we're only gonna get 3. I think I'm doing all this right. Don't actually know the combination here, but I found if you just run like this on them, this will open it right there. Wait. One of these is going to open it. Oh wait, okay. So this room is really dangerous because if this Pom dies, I've got to go all the way back. So I just try to take it one at a time and wait for like a good opening, because what'll happen is if he's not committed to an attack on one of them, they'll damage him by like making contact with him. Him being the Pom. Alright, I'll grab this health. And here's where we need the fire. Alright, here's like the first boss of the dungeon. This is a pretty interesting one. This is just a straight match fest, so it's gonna put us inside of it. And we just match our face off, and we shouldn't take any damage. Yeah, thanks, CJ. That means a lot. I've been playing it a lot, so once I've actually finished a full RTA run of this game, I'm gonna be really happy about that. So here, we're just waiting for a platform. I think there's a fast way to make, like, I think there's a fast cycle of these platforms, I just don't know how to get it. But, so yeah, so we're just gonna wait for this one. But I'm pretty sure I saw Vin catch this platform quick when I was studying his run. But yeah, just for keeping it chill, I'm just gonna do that. I think it's the potion. Great, we always want those. And we're off to the races. So here's the next dungeon. Little Ursula for you. There's the prince. She's totally got him captive. So if you stand up here in this corner, a lot of her moves just straight up won't hit you. There is one that she does that will hit you, but this is not it. So we can stay right here and avoid it. The annoying part about that move is it insta-poisons you, which is not a condition you want to have. Once again, she gives me nice RNG, goes with that move. I'm just gonna keep pelting her. Soon she'll hit phase 2, and these little tentacles will come up. So, just wait out that smoke ring attack. Some more fire there. Ooh. There we go. A little risky, but she's dead, I guess. And it should heal my status and my health back to full, I'm pretty sure. There we go. And we'll go smack the switch here. Bring the prince back. I'm pretty sure this will immediately take me out of the dungeon, so I'll split on the fade out. Alright. So now we're leaving the castle. We have to exit all the way down south of the city before we can teleport back to the farm. But we are, once again, going back to the farm. I don't think we have to stop and talk to Gramps again. I think we're all done meeting up with Grampy. Grampy. Okay, so get our teleport on. Oh no, we do go talk to Gramps again. Okay. I think this is the last time though. Man, now that I'm actually doing the run, I feel a lot more comfortable. Also, I just haven't streamed in a while, so... Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for the good luck, and take care. Hope you've been doing well. Hopefully school and everything's chill. Alright. What's nice is now that I'm actually testing all this junk out in like a real RTA setting, I feel like I do have almost all of it memorized. It's nice having the notes there for support though. But this is such a fast-paced game, you don't really want to stop and read. You just want to be ready to go. But we're over halfway through the notes already. Because a lot of the content in this run is actually just the dungeons themselves and the boss fights. I've done each of the dungeons and the bosses probably over 6 times each, so I've got them pretty much memorized. I've got some good strats as well. And as long as we're not like liberally like sinking through our healing potions, should be good. I'm going the wrong way actually. Yeah, we're gonna go down. Foolish Gumby. It is another cool city, but we're actually just gonna run right through it. Those dudes that are singing are still singing away. Alright. I think I go to the right of this turtle. Yeah. I say up top. There we go. These turtles are just in the way. You can run right past them. They're like, their spawn positions are constant, or consistent, so it's because I know where they are, it's like, okay, just make sure I don't go in their path. They do a little chunk of damage, but it's not too much. Here's like a little graveyard setting. Gotta push this up. Go into these kind of catacombs type area. And we're just here for one thing. This is the hardest dungeon I had to memorize coming up here. It's a haunted house, and it was pretty complicated. But the more I did it, the more I realized, like, it's not too bad. I could get a little turned around, I could forget something, but even when like I do forget things or when something does go wrong, I'm so familiar with it because I've messed it up so many times that I should be okay. Alright, so yeah, this is the haunted house. And this is a little bit of a tricky one. And a lot of the order matters in the rooms that you do. And it's purely because the doors won't open unless something is done. But because of that reason, I guess, it's... Okay, I took a bunch of damage there, but... But yeah, as I was trying to say before I got super caught up in that combat, because like some of the doors won't open unless you clear rooms, it makes it obvious. Like if you take a second and you get disoriented, you can be like, "Oh, okay, I know what I'm supposed to be doing." I don't really know what makes these guys come out. I think I go up left here. Could be wrong though. No, this is right. Gotta admit though, learning this was way harder than routing the entirety of Brave Story, because there's something about the dungeons being like 3D that like makes it easier to recognize and like familiarize yourself with the route and like in the actual like dungeon rooms themselves. But because everything is 2D and a lot of the sprite work is like really simplistic and clean, and they reuse a lot of it like throughout the dungeon, like a lot of the floors and like just a lot of the pieces of the environment are very similar as you progress through the dungeon. It makes it really hard to memorize, especially like just in this like kind of simplistic 2D layout. So yeah, we're gonna smack this specific head, make him turn, come over here. So we're looking for the key for that. But first we're gonna teleport out of here. Yeah, sounds good, man. Enjoy your dinner and take care. Okay, now we're gonna get the ice spell ready. Because these next enemies they group up a lot and they swarm you. And this ice spell is awesome. It's like a big thick shield where like... Oh wait, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Hold on. I think I'm just going this room first. Yeah. Not that I don't think it actually matters. Okay, I want this guy to come to me. Okay, that was totally sloppy. You can have a much cleaner room than that. What is this? Oh yeah, the bats. I'm gonna grab that for no reason. I didn't actually check how much those are worth. There's like these gold bars that are... I think that's what they are. And I think they're worth quite a bit more. But yeah, wow, we wasted a ton of magic in there. Charge that up. Grab this healing. And get out of here. I think we go straight across. That's it. Okay, a little all over the place with this room, but that's okay. I think we go up here. Yeah. Nice. Lots of good health drops so far, I've noticed. Okay, we are going to warp out. Pretty sure this is faster than going back through the rooms, but I'm probably wrong. Get some fire ready. Okay, I'm pretty sure I know where this key goes. I feel like 80% of... Whoa, what did I miss? Oh, yeah, there's a button. I gotta clear this room, and in the next room there's like a little... I think I had full health. Here we go. Step on this. The size of that button's always consistent. Okay, we're gonna go upstairs. And it's this room, I believe. No. Down one. And it's, I think it's this. I think it's down one more. It is. Foolish Gumby. Alright. Into this door. Okay, we're supposed to not teleport out of that first one, and we're supposed to use this one. The teleport in this specific area. So once again, I'm gonna have to charge fire. Because I believe that is the last time we're warping out of there. Okay, let me think. Where does this key go? Pretty sure I know that it's the first room to the left here. And up. There we go. Alright. So here we have the first boss of the dungeon. I'm pretty bad at this fight. But as long as it goes semi-okay, I'm not too disappointed. Oops. That's some good damage. Try to get a charge up. Just mash while they're in your face. I think you get 3 separate damage ticks when you do that, because they're like right on top of each other. Alright, that was actually a pretty decent fight. Come out here. I think it's required to come out here. Wait. Let me think. Are we supposed to warp back? I don't think so. Well, I don't think it matters, it's just like it's a speed thing. Nah, because you're coming up to this cutscene, so it would be faster just to walk back anyways. Okay. And the next boss is pretty comfy, not too scary. There's a few bosses that are a little sketch, but this dungeon is pretty comfy. I think it's this room. No. Same spot, but in this next room here. Bottom left corner. And up. So, normally I try to charge through these guys, but I kind of want to see if I can't get some help. Just like that, so I'm gonna grab these drops, let them group up a bit. Alright, this will spawn the final boss. Yeah, sounds good. Good luck with the work. But yeah, I hope you've been well. So these guys, if you try to destroy them, kill them with like a melee attack, they shoot like this energy at you. So I always try to kill them with my fire. Oh no. This thing will poison you if it hits you. Nice double on those little bad boys. I think we're gonna finish him here. Close. Alright, that's that one. That was the dungeon. One of the dungeons I was most worried about. Once again, normally you can name these guys when you recruit them, but we're gonna skip that. Now on fade out here, I'll split like that. All right. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. Okay, I know where I'm going. I actually just did this earlier. This little segment. But that was definitely the most, at least when I was learning it, that dungeon felt the most complicated and convoluted. So it feels good to be done with that. So this is the area we want. It'll lead us to the Quarry dungeon, and I'm pretty sure I remember how to get there. Just go up and around. Like this. And normally this guy blocks your way, but we've hit his story trigger, he's good to move. Alright, this dungeon was also honestly a bit complicated. The later game dungeons, like the last two, I thought would be the hardest, but I think it was these two that were the hardest for me to memorize. Because I still don't have it, like, perfectly memorized. Like, I made a decent amount of mistakes in that last dungeon. It wasn't too bad, but it could definitely be better. But that's a weird thing to say, considering it's my first RTA attempt. Not trying to be hard on myself at all. Just a comfy run. Alright, I don't think we need this right away. But I'm gonna get this ready. Please run, thank you. So yeah, just as you could probably suspect, to run in this game, you're just gonna double tap a direction. Like a fighting game. It's crazy. Normally my tendonitis does not handle D-pad only games, but this game is super comfy. I had no problems with it. I still don't. It doesn't really hurt my hands to play this. The only time it messes with my tendonitis a bit is there's some bosses where you're just mashing their face off and just square button city. There you go. And that can hurt a little bit because I'm always trying to do the best mash I can. I think it's the potion. We've been really good on our potion count so far. Okay, so here, I'm gonna try to take each of these really slowly because I don't want to get poisoned. Getting poisoned in this dungeon is fucking awful. And it seems like if you get hit with a poison pack, you're getting poisoned. Like, I don't think there's like a % chance. Like, maybe there is, but I get poisoned so consistently by poison enemies and poison damage that I always just try to take it super easy. Like that. These skeleton guys need the palm. I think this is a really great spell. So our palms have health. You can see it in the bottom side of the map there. I don't need it on. And we have a spell now that will heal us, and it'll like sap their life away, and it like balances out their life with ours. So if we're low on health, we can cast that spell and steal health from our palms. Which, here's the final palm we'll be recruiting. Kinda works out because he's in the way. Alright. Skip that chest, there's nothing good in it. These guys, you don't have to kill them, but it's nice to get like a drop from them, and they're such a pain in the ass that it's not even a bad idea to kill them anyways. Okay, so I know for a fact that there's a potion down here. So, because we can only have 4 in our inventory... Oh wait, I shouldn't have even did that. That was so foolish. I guess we'll get a couple levels out of it. That was a total waste, because I should have used the potion when I got to here to actually chew it, but I was so like just thinking ahead about it. I forgot that this room had enemies in it. But, yeah, so you can only have 4 potions, so I was trying to be optimal with my health management. Didn't work so well. Okay, and I used to think that we teleported out of here when you grab this key, but it is just way slower. So we're gonna do a little bit of backtracking. And a lot of the reason, I was kind of about to start rambling about it, but I think I held myself back. But those knight enemies have a really crazy range with their swords. So if you try to run past them, there's a good chance you're gonna get hit, like, anyways. So it's not really a terrible idea if you want to preemptively kill them. I would not blame anyone for wanting to do that. Alright, here's the next door. Oh, okay. So, I'm gonna use this item to cheese the Desert Tower puzzle, which doesn't make any sense to anyone that hasn't played the game. And then we're gonna teleport out of there. The first dungeon of this boss, the first boss of this dungeon is a huge pain in the ass because he's cycle-based, or it's cycle-based. And we can only get 1 round of damage in per cycle, so it takes quite a few minutes. But as long as you've like practiced the fight and stuff and you know how to do it, it's not too bad. It's just, it'd be really cool if there was a strat to speed up the fight. Cool, good health drop. Oh, my nose is so itchy. Platforming here can be a little complicated, so I'm just going to take it nice and easy. Alright. So here's the first boss of the dungeon. So I like standing up in this top left corner. It like lets me see the visual cue for the attacks coming in quite a bit easier. But these patterns are the same every single time. So once you've done the boss a couple times, it's totally like ingrained in your head. I'm gonna do my best to not lose unnecessary health. I think you might get your health restored and refreshed after the fight, but no guarantees. I don't want to risk it. So I'm gonna do everything I can to not take any unnecessary damage. The second boss in this dungeon, I will almost always use at least a single potion on. And yeah, not much more to say than that. Just gonna be mashing the second phase of his face. Just gonna be mashing his face off. So yeah, right here we just have to wait through these attack cycles, and then the flower shoots something out and we repel it back. In the final dungeon there's a boss rush, so you'll be fighting a lot of these, like this boss will make a reappearance, and just some of the other bosses will make reappearances that you've encountered earlier in the game. And they're a little bit different, some of them anyways. They'll have like a little bit of a different moveset. This plant has it has 2 patterns basically. So does this one, this is the only pattern he has right now, going left and down and then left again, and then he spins, or the damage spins. But when you fight him a second time, he actually has 2 patterns. But as long as you know what the patterns are, and you see the first kind of wave of electricity come out, you can just react and you know which pattern you're gonna get. But this one isn't too hard. Casually, this one was tough for me. I think it was because I was trying to jump rope it, so like for example, when this comes over I jump to the left, and then I jump to the right. I jump over it and like across it, basically, like the damage. But before I would just try to jump rope it, like right here, I'm just gonna jump rope it, I'm just gonna stand in place. But I realized that trying to do that during the normal attack, or the normal, like, whatever, during the first few parts of that fight, I realized just wasn't the play. Alright. So that was that, and now we're gonna teleport out of here. Really nice that we didn't take any damage, because that means we're gonna go into this boss with full health. I think no matter what, we will have to use at least one potion, just to make it fast. Could try to play it safe, but that doesn't really make sense in my head. There's a really fast strat for the second phase of him, so I'm just gonna go for that. But yeah, I'm really impressing myself with how much of these dungeons I had memorized. I was really worried about it. Seems to be going smoothly. Good health drop. Probably could have took a break and grabbed that money, but that's okay. Wait, we go down. And you could definitely, like, cheese this part and just jump through the... well, should've just went. You can just take the damage from the boulder. Okay, so this is for later. A lot of times I'll get to the final dungeon and won't have enough money to restock my potions. That thing sells for quite a bit. And then the reason I stopped and started grabbing that flower was because... oh shoot, I need to charge some fire anyway. Was because the flower actually heals you, like, of your status conditions. I don't think it actually heals any sort of health, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's just status conditions, but I think it's the next dungeon. So, the dungeon right after this, there's enemies that can poison you, and they poison me, like, super frequently. So, yeah, it's good to have that just in case, like, and once we leave... or once we get to the end of the next dungeon. So basically, there's 2 bosses in the dungeon, and once it's finished, you go on like a ride across like a rainbow road, and there's a boss on that rainbow road. So I always want to get to that part with at least like a potion, but I almost always want to have at least 2 potions, just for like mega safety. So yeah, this part's pretty straightforward. He drops bombs, you blow them up. The explosion causes rocks to fall and mess him up. He's got one more, and then he's gonna get off this platform here. So yeah, there's nothing too dangerous here. He spins his guitar, but it can't hit you. And here's where it gets a little dicey, but it's not really. It just means we're gonna be using a potion here. Not too dicey. It'd be nice if you could stock more than 4 potions in your inventory. So yeah, we're just gonna match his face off. Just watch my health, make sure I don't get too low. Alright, we shouldn't need anything beyond this 1 potion use, I would hope. I'm trying to do this with only 1 potion. This is an interesting attack pattern he's giving me. Normally he does like this like beam attack. He didn't use it once there. I kind of prefer the beam attack. Okay. So that is that dungeon. Okay, we're gonna teleport back to the farm once again, and throughout the journey we have collected 2 more palms, and now is the time to equip them. So we'll have 3 heading out. Gotta wait for this little cutscene end, and then we can turn and grab them. I think I did something wrong there. There we go. Okay. I believe we're gonna go back down south. Oh wait, nope. Good thing I have my notes. This is what the notes are for, ladies and gentlemen. We don't go south, we go right. We go up here. Okay, normally I like to stop in the city, but there's no point in doing that. It's a speedrun after all. But there's a pretty cool desert town, but we definitely skipped that word. All of it. So I didn't need to go around there. We go left one? Down one? Yes. I don't think there's anything good in this chest here. I'm just gonna run up. Like maybe junk to sell. Take a little water break while this guy does a dance and flexes on all of us. Alright. And I'm hoping I'm good on potions and junk, because I don't think there's any potions waiting for me in this dungeon. I don't think. I should probably charge my fire spell before I go in. But yeah, so this is the first instance of using the Pom's abilities to traverse the dungeon. Like, I don't think it's possible to do this without one of the Poms in particular. So one of them we have, well, I guess you'll see in a sec. When you smack it, it'll use its ability, and its ability is to, like, kick its tongue out and latch onto something. So here, I'm gonna try to line it up. Oop, too much. Way too much. They're in a different order than I practiced them. Okay, like that. Like that. There we go. There we go. I always get hit by that. Okay. Get that fire going again. Okay, I'm gonna be way careful, way more careful of that on my way back. Okay, so we got the first key. Maybe it would have been smart of me to stop in the desert town and buy a potion just to be safe. Maybe. So yeah, I used to melee them. It's way faster. Like, even casually, I smack them. But they just have such a good chance of poisoning you that it just fucking sucks. And I really don't like being poisoned in this game. It just makes me super fucking anxious. So I do literally everything I can to not get poisoned. And it would be awesome if we could go poisonless this whole run. Like, even if it's slower, safer strats, I do not want to get fucking poisoned. I don't think this is gonna work. It might connect. There we go. Without that switch, come back. And I think we teleport after we grab this key. He's the only one of those that I killed because he's in such a good spot where it's like you don't want him in your way when you're jumping, I guess. Alright, let's get out of here. If we take good advantage of the healing spell, we shouldn't need to waste any potions unnecessarily. We're gonna go up and right. Sometimes I have trouble hitting us, but we're all good today. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3. Don't need fire here. I saw Vince throw his palms on these, but I'm really fucking inaccurate with throwing my palms. This is a boss we kind of cheese. Re-getting him underground, or out of the ground, is a bit of a pain. But we actually just get a nice position here and just match as hard as we can. Get as much damage as we can. Turn to face him. Hopefully that hits, yeah. There we go. Just mash one more time. This is all we need. Just basically 2 cycles of this jump. And we're gonna teleport out one final time. I always think there's gonna be dialogue text after you kill that thing, but there isn't. There's a sheep there, and when you gather them, you like collect them and send them back to the village. I don't really know what it does though. Okay, I'm gonna do a... Should probably heal, but I think there's a little bit of combat. So there's definitely a chance for a health drop. So that'd be great if that happens. Wait, no, we gotta reset this room. It should reset that. Yo, what's up, Bull? How's it going? Hope you've been well. Should be good. Probably no point in going down there. Might as well just use fire. I don't think we go there. No, we don't. Nice. Sounds good. Well, hopefully you're having a comfy day. It is finally the weekend. So hopefully you're able to relax. Alright, thank goodness we didn't get poisoned or anything. Yo, Czar, thanks so much for the host. Hopefully the rest of practice went well. Right now I am testing my memory. This game, I haven't actually played a game that was as hard to memorize as this, but it almost, like, in learning this game, it almost reminded me of, like, maybe what someone would do if they were learning, like, A Link to the Past or something, where you've got these, like, very, like, you've got, like, 2D sprites, and a lot of the, here, I'm gonna come up and give myself a little more camera, a lot of the sprites in the dungeon start blending together. Like, when I was writing, I want to be really careful of these enemies so I don't get poisoned. Poison is fucking awful in this game. But a lot of the enemies, like, blend together. Or not enemies, what am I saying? Brooms in the dungeon. Okay. So I'm gonna take this room really slow because there's a lot of danger here. So you can just hit them once when they do this jump. Yeah, so, okay, the main reason I'm, like, doing everything in my power this round to avoid getting poisoned is because, unlike traditional RPGs, when you get poisoned, you experience damage over time. But in this game, when you're poisoned, you can't heal. So you actually don't bleed damage, or, like, health, I guess you would say. You don't bleed health over time in this game. but losing the ability to heal is, like, extremely detrimental. So it's not something I want to do. So that potion I just grabbed, it's a green vial. It's actually an antidote. So if worst comes to worst and I do get poisoned, I should be okay. But yeah, so although melee combat can be quite a bit faster in a lot of these scenarios, I just end up wimping out and using magic. And these guys will always hit you with some attack, so I like to block it. It actually does a ton of damage if I were to face tank that. No, actually I didn't. I'm super awful at making big purchases for myself. Alright, so we're coming up on the boss, so I'm gonna make sure I've got a full charge of fire, and we should be okay. He's a pretty tricky boss that goes in cycles. And I just gotta get close enough to see what move he's gonna do. So he's gonna, every time we finish a cycle of his health, he's going to go into this mode around me where he spins and, like, he's got his doppelgangers. And the doppelganger that's always him has a shadow under it, so it's up here. Get a couple more hits in. These little, like, storm clouds that chase me. They move 4 times. One last one. So, hard to see here, but in the bottom side, you see how the door is open to the dungeon room? So the door that I came in, that door actually stays open, and if at any point during this battle I leave this room, I have to redo the boss fight from scratch. So it's always something I'm, like, insanely cautious of. But yeah, as you can see, as we go through the cycles, he gets a bit faster with the spinnings of his clones. Actually, I have a pretty good pattern here. There we go. And I'm pretty sweaty. I was so anxious about doing this run. Because it's, like, I got notes, but they're, like, super just, like, for support if I, like, really get lost or confused. But the notes are not, they don't have anything about the dungeons. Like, my notes just say, do dungeon. So, really, this is just testing my memory and how well I was able to memorize things. And how well I was able to learn and commit it to memory through practice. But yeah, this has been a big part of why I've been offline, is because someone I really enjoy watching, they played this game on their stream, and they kind of showed it to me, so I grabbed it when I got the JPPS2, but I didn't have a chance to, like, play it for a while. I was super focused on Brave Story junk. Oh wait, we're on fire. Oh god. There we go. Didn't want to miss a cycle. Oh well. So I finally played it casually, and I had a ton of fun. Please, we gotta start moving. Oh, I think we just missed a damage cycle because I was so concerned with getting my fire up. That's okay. But yeah, so I finally beat it casually. And, alright, I'm going to finish this dungeon off by when I exit this room. Because there's, like, a weird scenario that's about to go down, where we're about to be, like, transported up to the moon. I'm glad we didn't have to use any potions. That means I have 3 potions left for this boss, which can be pretty difficult. Actually, no, I'm gonna split once we finish this boss. I want to consider it all in the same split. Sorry, I feel like I'm all over the place with my commentary. It's the anxiety. But yeah, so we're riding a rainbow road to the moon. And on the way to the moon, there's this stupid whale who was a huge pain. It took me so many tries casually. And the worst part is, in order to come retry this fight, this whale fight here, and to cross this rainbow bridge, like when you fail, you spawn at the beginning of the dungeon that we just went through, and you have to reclimb the entire dungeon. And it's not fun for anyone. So being able to beat it first try is absolutely paramount. I just missed some pretty important damage there. But at first I didn't really understand the mechanics of this fight, but this is pretty easily blockable. I always have trouble when I have to manage, so obviously I'm managing my character, her actions, but I'm also controlling this magic carpet. So the multitasking gets me. There we go. That's the whale boss. And we only had to use 2 potions. So we're heading up to the final dungeon. Alright, so we didn't actually get any healing. So, in every town, and we actually skip a lot of the towns, but in every town there's a place to heal up. Heals up you and your companions, the Poms, and also there's a little shop. So first I'm going to sell my unnecessary junk. And hopefully I don't need more of these than I'm getting. Alright, so we're headed off to the final dungeon. A big, huge castle. And I thought this would be really tough to memorize. It actually just comes down to being a bunch of kill-all rooms. Also, we're gonna get a bunch of level ups in this dungeon because we've been flying through the dungeons in the most optimal way we can. We're not really fighting enemies unless they're kill-all rooms. So we don't have to fight anything here, just remember. So these enemies actually have a good amount of experience. Come here. Dude, please die. Yeah, what's up, Turtle? Hope you're having a good night. And also, this game wanted to take you on a bit of a boss rush, I guess you would call it. So... oh man, I should have healed before I came in here. I'm trying to do this non-heal. So here, he's just going to coil up for us. We're just going to mash our face off. Hopefully we get a good pattern here. Okay, I'm going to rush a quick heal off. But we basically want to hit the ground and drop this thing on him that forces him out of the ground, like that. There we go. Then we can mash again. And this should put him in his deathbed. Back in the dirt he rose out of. There we go. So I'm going to hold off on healing, because there's some enemies in these couple kill-out rooms that might be able to heal us. Hopefully I'm not wrong about that, because these guys can do a ton of damage if you're not careful. Please. Okay, I'm gonna be careful and just heal. Way better to be safe than sorry. I'm gonna take damage because I'm stupid. Forgot about this. But we're about to go into another... No! That's fine. we're about to go into another boss, so I just want to make sure I had plenty of health to deal with this junk. But yeah, it's not exactly good that I wasted that potion, because that's a bit premature. Sometimes the combat just doesn't go the way I want it to. But here's that alternate pattern. So this is a boss that we fight earlier in the dungeon. All these bosses that you're seeing are bosses that have, you know, been earlier bosses in the earlier game. And this is again one of those, I don't know, like a tennis match or something where you go through this wave of attacks, and then when the timing's right, you bounce their own projectile back at them. There's nothing we can do to damage this plant outside of that opening. So when the plant is doing this electric junk, it's totally off limits. Here we play a little bit of jump rope. I was kind of explaining this earlier the first time I fought him, but the hardest thing about this casually for me was because I was trying to jump rope the initial attack patterns, so I'll explain that in a second, but these first like wave of electricity that comes at me, these first waves I guess, so like left here, I would just jump in place. And the problem is you kind of linger, and then by the time you come back down, there's a good chance you're going to get hit again, or you're going to get hit. Just like the timing of the way that the panels are lighting up. So I stopped jump roping them, and I only jump rope this, and what I mean by jump rope is just like jumping in place. So I jump in place for that, but the rest of them I try to like move over the panels. Kind of rambling, but I think you get it. But yeah, so this is just cycles. It's just waiting through the cycles of the boss, getting the damage in when we can, and making sure we don't mess any cycle up, because any single time we mess up a cycle, it's gonna add, 30 seconds or more. So here we're just gonna jump rope this jump. Okay, I think it has one more damage phase. I think. But yeah, these patterns are, well, he only has 2 different patterns, so here's the second one. They're pretty predictable, especially once you know what's coming, and they've never changed on me, so that's good. So because they're consistent, you can kind of do your best to not lose any damage. I've already taken a hit here, but the goal is to not get hit at all. There we go. Okay, back to fighting normal enemies again. Okay, we're getting to the point where we won't be able to heal from those guys anymore, so I gotta be super mega careful. Yeah, I'm guessing my mic is picking up these sirens. I am really sorry about that. Not something I planned for, even though I do live in a city. Where? There you go. Where did I come from? Down? Yeah, I'm going down. Okay. It's a pretty long castle, so I don't want to get turned around, if I can help it. Here's a pretty dangerous fight if I'm not careful. Wait. No! Okay. So yeah, like I said, the doors to the boss rooms stay open, so if you happen to accidentally walk out, you will have to redo the boss fight. Missing some good damage. Ah, okay, good, I'm glad. I was worried. These sirens be loud sometimes. Okay, I gotta really watch my health. Definitely starting to get low. Ooh, foolish. Alright. think I'm gonna kill him here, so I'm not gonna heal. Okay. Ugh. Definitely should have gotten more damage there. It's okay. This is a really rough fight. Spending way too much time here. Alright, just a bit more. He's gonna die here. Please die. That'll do. Alright, hopefully I get some health drops and jumps like that to help me. So the food that you're seeing, unfortunately, isn't Castlevania. If you get a random like food drop, it's actually just used to feed the little pets that follow me. And this game has like a whole town building simulator where you feed these bunnies, which are called Poms, P-O-M-S, and they build things for you in your like little farm area, which we passed a few times in the run. There's another boss that's pretty chill. You can actually stand right in it, and it doesn't have a hurt box. Or hitbox. Whoops. You get it. So this is pretty straightforward. Just trying to claw me. Cheshire Cat. Just Cheshire Cat things. Gonna give me another phase of damage attacks. I like that the most. When he has like a attack pattern he does where he like flies around the room and shoots like waves of projectiles at you. I don't think we'll see it. Yeah, we're not gonna see it this time. But that takes a very long time for him to reappear, like to the point where we can hit him. Alright, hopefully I'm not gonna regret not healing. I might though, because this is when the rooms start to get tricky. Okay, we have to use a potion. Oh, I didn't want to do this. Because depending on how the dragon... There's a boss fight that's like a big dragon. Depending on how that goes... Oh, these lizards are such a pain. Especially when you're super underleveled. There's like a dragon boss, and I 100% need at least a potion, but I'd like to have 2 potions on the boss. Yeah, we're going up. Okay, I guess I could take a second and buy potions, but I don't really want to. We're going to do the fight right now. I think we have 2 potions in our inventory. I can check really fast. We're gonna be fine. Let me get the ice ready. So he does like a laser attack, and we have this ice spell, and the ice spell makes us invulnerable for a short period of time, so we time it right when this like beam attack is going over us. And every time you get hit with the beam, it like nukes your health like 80%, so it's really fucking awful to get hit by that. But we have strats to deal with that, which you're gonna see come into play. So here is, yeah, this is probably the toughest boss in the run. Maybe tied for top. Something else. Almost looks like something out of the Neverending Story. Actually stay soft when I can. Here's that attack. Just get out of the way. And I want him to do that attack as much as he can, because he has these spells that are really awful. They make it really painful to damage like Mash's face. He's gonna do another one. Hopefully it's not the ice. A little bit of electric, never hurt nobody. Wow, he's doing a ton of junky spells. Okay. So, spells he does are not set. I mean, he will do the... he's not gonna like throw a random spell that I've never seen out before, but... Wow, he is Spell City right now. I might have to use that extra potion. I'm actually gonna die if I don't. That's not what you want to see. Please die. I've never had him give me this many spells. Out of the way. There we go. Okay, let me think. How should I do this? I'm going to back and buy some potions from the city, which I think is required no matter what, because the final boss is... there's like 3 fights to it, and you need at least... I don't know, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that without 3, but it'd be awesome if we had 4 potions. I should be able to afford it. I don't think there's anything that will keep me from buying it, I don't think. But I would be a sad boy. Okay, so we're gonna grab some water first. And there's actually I only need to buy 3 potions, because there's a chest that contains a potion, so that will save me some money. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna buy one of those. Because those actually, they're like antidotes that heal you if you're poisoned, but they also heal you just like a small chunk of health. It might be nice to have that. Just if everything is going wrong, maybe that could help. I think we need fire for anything in particular, but I'm just gonna charge it anyways. So we have 3 potions, and here's a 4th. The maximum capacity for your potions is 4. Unfortunately, we can't stack more than that. Here's a little cutscene. But we still have a ton of combat left in the dungeon before we even get to those final bosses. So hopefully we don't have to make a last kind of minute trip back to that shop again. I will make the trip if I'm nervous, or if I feel like I need the potions, but it'd be really great if we could get through this without using them. And I think I'm going the right way. Combat is a bit all over the place right now. Wow, none of these guys are dropping any health for me. That's insane. So, let me heal just a little bit and get out of here. Great health drops. I'm gonna run back and grab it. The room the composition of the room as far as the enemies and their layout starts getting super like ugly and just unfortunate. Like, these wizards are total garbage. Oh wait, wasn't there a health drop? Oh, I must have missed it. Oh. think there's anything in this. It's probably a waste of time to grab it. It is, yeah. Okay. Let me think. Where am I going? Oh yes, okay. I know where I'm going. I'm really impressing myself with how I actually had this shit memorized. Because, like, in practice, it's like, that's one thing. But actually being able to do it in the RTA setting is a different beast entirely. Definitely don't need that money, but it's fine to have. I mean, some of the combat's been a bit sloppy, but... and that would help, the dungeon faring, but... we're getting through it. Yeah, so this dungeon is totally just a bunch of kill-all rooms. Man, it'd be nice if we get a health drop. Shit, I should have healed before I hit in here. I have to use this. I might even die still. That sucks. It sucks that I had to heal there. Probably means I'm gonna have to do another trip to the shop for super mega safety. If I would have just remembered to heal before I entered that room, we wouldn't have had to use this. Oh well. The game's gonna... we're gonna have to go back anyways. So this is totally fine. The game's gonna send us back down because we're not quite ready to fight them. But that is the final dungeon, or the final boss room. So I'm gonna go get that potion right now, because we've pretty much cleared every single kill-all room that we need to advance through the rest of the dungeon. And we're basically going to take that, going to take these liquids and combine them to get a certain mixture, and that's required to advance through the game. So, unfortunately, I am gonna stop and grab this. Good thing we have the money for it. One more, this is a total waste of time. It's okay though. Like, we 100% will not need that. Maybe 99.9% chance. Maybe 100% is wrong. Alright. Back in the dungeon. And I don't think it's actually faster to do this. To like teleport back, but I was just so worried about not having 4 potions for the final junk, so I'm gonna have to do. To calm my anxieties. But yeah, so we're gonna go back to this area where kind of that led up to the dragon, except we're gonna go across. So there's the blue water there, but now we need some yellow water, and if we combine them, it'll make this green potion type stuff. Again, I don't really know too much about the plot of this game, but it is important. That is one thing I wish I knew more about. It was honestly just like a bit more of the plot. Like, there's like this crystal skull that came down, and like some boy found it, and now he's a bad boy. That's about all I got. Oh shit! And we didn't come this way earlier, so we actually do have an extra kill all ring. I forgot we didn't do this. I forgot about healing. Let me go straight up. Oh wait. Down. I think we're going down. Yes. Here we go. So here's where we're going to drop that liquid. Now it's green. We need to pick it back up. So now we have this green liquid in our hands. Actually, okay, we're on track. So now we're just basically running to the final boss. We go right here, my bad. I will not get turned around, we got this. It's crazy how I've fucking proven to myself that I have this memorized. But it just took so long to memorize this all. Everything, like all the the statues, all like little flames on the ground. Everything is just very like you've already seen it in other rooms, so everything just starts blending together. Alright, let's do the final boss. Probably should have healed a bit, but we'll be okay. Okay, so these fights kind of work in cycles. They're a little dangerous. At least the first two do. Sometimes I like to match with two hands, but then it kind of like puts me in a weird position when it's time to actually fight. So maybe only certain matches I'll do two. So yeah, there's a couple spells she does where we can just stay and mash your face off. The first one is one of them. I don't think this is another one. Oh yeah, it is. Stay here. Good first phase. So, that's the old hag, but now we fight the true witch. And just a little bit of damage to get this healing off. Oh wait, we do not want to be there for that. All we can do here is wait this out. This is one of our cycle things. We gotta be really careful we don't actually leave the boss room and have to redo this fight. That would be not good. Oh wait, we don't want to stand on that. Oh boy, what am I doing? Alright, hopefully I don't regret that. I wonder if we can... I'm gonna use this. So that is the last attack she does that's really epic. So that means that we're almost done. Should be able to get her. There we go. So after that fight, we'll get a full heal, which helps leading into the final boss, because you really only need one potion for the final boss. But I have a second one. I was being way mega, super mega safe. So we definitely have an unnecessary potion. But it's there just in case things really hit the fan. And also there's times where you can't use the spell that heals you. So it's like, I got it off a few times in that fight, but there's going to be instances where you need a quick heal and you don't have time to do that. Alright, so here's the final boss. Like the true form. And it's actually the easiest form of all those three fights right there. Just smash its face off. And that's the run. Wow, I am super sweaty. 1 second. Way too hot in that sweater. Okay, cool. That is Community Pom. That's a Japanese PlayStation 1 exclusive game. Or this is. And yeah, unfortunately, I don't know too much about the story, and that's a bad thing. But when I first played this casually, I enjoyed it so much. Like, I don't know. There's a lot more spells, and there's a lot of like little mini games, and there's a lot of like towns and cities that we don't actually see, and in the Any % route. But it was just such like a cute, like comfy game, and yeah, like I feel like I owe it to myself to learn more about the story. But for now, I'm really happy that I was able to get through everything. Like I literally have everything pretty much memorized, so that makes me really happy. This is a good test of that. But the world record is 1:27:55, so a little over 10 minutes away. 10 and a half minutes. That's not, world record is not a goal, especially for this unexplored game, but just knowing that I'm able to play through it, knowing that I have a good grasp of the mechanics and the dungeons, makes me really happy, because one of my biggest things with speedrunning is like being able to take one of my favorite games, like a game I really loved and enjoyed casually, and be able to imbue that sense of infinite replayability. So like, there's always going to be a reason to boot this game up and get through it. And that's not something that's something that speedrunning allows me to do. Like, anytime I want, I can sit down and I know I can beat this game in less than 2 hours. Like, just that concept alone is what I really enjoy about speedrunning. So I'm really happy that, like, I was able to memorize this and put it to the test, and, you know, prove to myself that I have it all memorized. And that, like, I have notes, but I don't really need them. Like, I have 3 pages of notes, and I barely looked at them. So that's kind of a cool idea. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the art, the music, the bosses that are pretty unique. And of course, the story is lacking, especially because I don't know it that well, so my narration is quite a bit off. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sure that it's totally off the radar for almost everyone. Like, you guys probably would have went your entire lives without ever hearing of this game. So, if for anything, I'm always glad to be able to showcase something cool and something that I personally enjoyed. That always makes things way more fun. Being able to show them off, and yeah, I'm rambling, but you get it. The song is so good. Yo, thanks, Turtle. Sometimes I don't feel like one, but it's always cool and feels good to do cool shit. So I can't really complain, I guess. But yeah, I think that was a pretty good way to kick the weekend off. It is Friday. Work was a little long this week. It was one of those days where I felt like I was catching a bad cold, so I kind of held that off, and it didn't happen, so that's a good sign. But yeah, it's a bit of a long work week, so I'm kind of happy that I was able to still like work on this throughout the week, because I've been playing this pretty much every day. I wanted to prep and get ready for this run. So I'm glad it's done, I'm through it, and I proved to myself that I've got it all memorized. I'm seriously fucking rambling, but yeah. I'm ruining the music. But no, it feels good, it feels good. I always like learning new projects. Even if I don't intend on taking them very far, I'm always happy to learn new things. And I'll definitely be playing this more in the future. Gotta fix this run. This could get better by over 10 minutes, so got a little ways to go. There's some safety junk that I do, which obviously ate away a couple of minutes, but for the most part it's just like getting faster at the combat. And yeah, it's getting a little bit quicker with pretty much everything.